Hello, everybody, and welcome back. The final map of the night, Endpoint, taking on 6G. The winner of this will be proceeding to the next round, and the loser will be proceeding to the next qualifier, more than likely, because they won't be qualifying this time. Coastal is the map where we're going to see things go down. 1-1 is the scoreline. Both maps went pretty favorably for each team. We saw Endpoint taking the first map, 16-9, and the second one went to 6G, 16-7. Pretty similar performances from both. And here on Coastal, it's opened up by Hustle, taking down Fancy as the Allies look to make things slowly shift towards that B side.
Indeed. Can 6G carry over the form that we've seen on Derailed? Solid start at least into this round already. Garcia and Sus going to be having a little bit of a battle as Sus is low HP and won't be able to find anything on that B bomb site. He falls, as does the control, in favor of the Allied side. 6G are going to be able to get that bomb down. 5 versus 3 now. Going to be a very difficult retake for Endpoint, especially as the numbers continue to diminish. Frags continuously being found by Hustle. He doubles down. Garcia has that player pinned in towards middle, which allows for the flank to come in from Rebirth. The leader falls, and Supreme is left all alone in a 1-on-5. As it is indeed going to be 6G getting off to a good start by picking up the first round here on Coastal. And on the Allied side as well, of course. They had, was it 11-4 on the previous map? They ended up winning out on the Allied side themselves.
Yeah, Derailed 11-4. Pretty solid start for them. Now, with Supreme being last alive, looking to be off to a good start yet again. The Allied side really didn't go well for them, of course, over on Manor House. But they've changed their tone the last couple of rounds. Or in the last map, rather. Well, the full investment after winning that first round, we see the Allies already coming in after getting the bomb plant down as well. They've got a good bit of economy built up, but they're going to be sticking to just the carbines. It's a bit of a bonus round now. The Axis losing out that round means that they're more or less on a full eco. They've just got those Gavers. It's a standard enough round. Supreme picks up a shotgun as Fancy transfers over a token and buys a smoke. Deleter to open up the round even further as the second kill is found for the Axis side. And now we see why ecoing isn't necessarily a good idea. As the leader finds yet another kill, the Axis side Gaver buy is really working out right now. Supreme looking to make things happen over towards the B site, but he won't have an opportunity as Fancy, with the popcorn gun, pops the head, or rather the chest, of Helmsy. 1-1 is the scoreline, and that's an interesting dynamic. You win that round as the Allies, the Axis can buy up and take the Gavers, but you can buy pretty much anything. You can take full Tommy guns in the second round and just go for a flat-out rush, but it's not so favorable for the Axis. Especially because the Allies can get the bomb down in the round, it gives them such a big boost of economy. But if you're the Axis side and you win out the first round, you don't have nades in the second round. You're not really able to buy all too much, and even if you do invest in, as long as they've done enough damage in the previous, you're probably only going to have Gavers anyway, so it's pretty much the same buy whether you win or lose. Give or take maybe 1 or 2 MP40s. There's just nothing at such a low economy that's worth buying other than the Gaver, really. And the shotgun, of course, but you won't see a full team of shotguns, especially on the Axis side. You want to keep those long-range battles in the likes of Coastal, where the mid presence is so important. And speaking of mid presence, we can already see 6G making their way firmly down middle. Helmsy over towards Broken Wall as Kaistar and Rebirth look to take control of that site. The leader is having none of it. He catches off Kaistar on the cross as Rebirth tries to get the trade. He's not able to connect anything, and 6G really spread out right now. If they do manage to make their way onto the site, they're going to have Supreme to contest with. He's, of course, got the shotgun ready to go. Finds it onto Rebirth and leaves Garcia in a 1 versus 4 and 1 carbine in hand. And at best here, he's going to hope to take down 1 or 2 guns on the Axis side, but he won't be able to do all too much damage.
Yeah,
Actually won't be able to do any.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Jinx, Mitch. But yeah, good round from Endpoint. 2-1 as they claim the lead. And as we said, the Axis side is where we want to see them try and actually build up a very solid performance, because of course with the kind of newly built roster only keeping technically 2 players of the lineup that we've seen at Budapest. Of course, Jay Money, he was still technically a player, just wasn't able to attend that LAN, of course, so he was kind of just subbed out. But yeah, he comes back now. Supreme and Delete are also coming in. And as you said, Sus said they haven't really had a lot of time together, so they don't really have any strategies, just playing off of their individual skill, which of course is more difficult to do on that Allied side. So ideally they want to take as strong as a half as they can here on the defense. But already Sus is going to be taken down. He's dropped immediately by Kia Star, leaving Fancy under a lot of pressure now to hold down this B bomb site. Will they clear out this corner is the question. They will indeed. Good work by Garcia. As a 5-on-3 is going to go heavily in favor of 6G, as they also claim control of this B bomb site. 5-on-2 now.
That opening kill for the leader, not going to prompt him to go for the round, of course. They will just go for the save. We can see the tokens not looking all too good for the rest of the team. Fancy, Sus and Jay Money on 0, with Supreme only on 1. He's also got a shotgun and an M1 carbine, which he's going to want to save over to the next round. With time ticking away on that bomb, though, we can already see 6G, they've built up a pretty good economy. 4 of their players are not going to need to buy in the next round. You might see a 2 token investment, but already that's just going to, like, this round is paid for that, so that they can buy up some grenades and possibly some smokes too. But again, it is all going to be worthwhile for them. If they can replicate this round, it will have definitely paid off. Supreme almost found himself a late round frag with the shotgun. But the aggression was a little bit too slow. Now the full buy, of course, to come in from the allies. We see yet again 6G investing into those nades, taking some smokes as well. On the allied side, of course, that can be pretty important. But surprisingly, the Axis have opted for 3 smoke grenades instead of 1 or 2 grenades, which is interesting. They're not stacking up those final 3 tokens and sacrificing a smoke to pick up 2. That's a huge part of the allied side, Axis side advantage taken away. The ability to find those opening kills and cut off parts of the map early on. As Hustle's going to be the only player towards the B site, we see a little bit of mid control being taken. Rebirth very aggressive early on. He's been spotted out by Supreme. They trade damage as he makes his way into the site. The leader gets knife killed. Supreme looks to return the favor. He's got the shotgun in hand and is looking to find that combat onto Rebirth as he moves towards the stairs. He's got to be careful though, because Garcia is going to be coming up behind him. Rebirth though might be able to finish him off all by himself. Indeed he is, with the pistol in hand. It's only Sus left alive now. He's got a Gewehr and 1 kill on the board already, making his way over towards a broken wall, but up close to him. Indeed coming behind him is going to be Helmsy any second now. As he makes some noise, he's eventually taken out by that M1 carbine. And 3-2 is going to be the score. 6G, once again, walking away with the lead early on. And apparently Rebirth's mouse disconnected.
It was broken previously, so he's having a lot of mouse issues. Yeah, should probably try and get that fixed soon. If he wasn't so far away, I'd loan him one. I've way too many mice. I used to have the problem of having none, but then I just kept buying mice, and I was like, nah, I don't like this one, I'll get a new one. And I got back from Budapest, and now I have a Rifle 700. I also have a Death Adder, an EC2A, and an FK2.
I've had the same mouse for, I think, 4 years. I'm pretty sure it's been broken the last 2, but...
You should maybe replace that as well, then. What mouse do you have?
Zoe FK1. A Zowie FK1.
I
Yeah.
Zoe. It's just my accent.
Yeah,
I've had by J Money.
Oh, Garcia with the shotgun as well. Endpoint just aren't getting lucky here. Every time they manage to find kills, they're being traded back. 6G are doing this. They're playing this so well. The leader over towards mid, though, he might be able to catch Garcia as he rotates over to help his teammates. He hasn't made any noise and hasn't given away his position just yet. Although a rotation's already been dragged off. J Money started to make his way back over towards A, but now making his way to B. As Fancy eventually falls, Sus is good for a trade, though, which keeps the man advantage in their favor. The leader does find that kill onto Garcia as well, as the flank isn't able to come in. It's only going to be Kai Star to hold down. No nades to slow them. And as he finds the kill onto Sus, actually, who's going a little bit for a little bit of a solo play. He's already heard J Money in the L block, but no chance. Carrying out the AK connects the kill, and with that we see it all tied up yet again. We're 1 for 1 on maps and 3 for 3 on rounds.
Bomb defused.
Dean, I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Who's going to take it, and what score do you think?
I think Endpoint will take it, but I think it's going to be really close. Maybe 16-12.
All right. I'm going to swing the opposite way, just in light of the previous
You
map.
always swing the opposite way, Mitch.
Well, we always swing the same way, Dean. Has Budapest taught you nothing? But I think 6G, they're going to take it. 16-13. It's going to be a close
Do you
one.
know what Budapest taught me? Don't always believe the signs outside a bar.
Don't think we can discuss that on stream. Don't think we're allowed. All I'm
Probably
saying
not.
is, I would have adhered to the signs. I would have taken my t-shirt off.
Didn't you do that anyway?
Yeah, but apparently there's something wrong with doing that on the street. Public indecency or something like that. I don't know if that was the t-shirt or the trousers, but you know, there was a problem.
Did you just see that from Helmsy, by the way?
I did not.
He just destroyed 3 people.
I was watching Supreme, waiting for the shotgun action to come in, but he only connects 1. As we're talking through round. 4-3. 6G. Taking it over yet again. Like, this is such a close game. I'm really happy to see this coming out. You got to favor 6G coming through this, though. It is the Allied side. They're taking these rounds 1 for 1, trading it back and forth, but ultimately that just puts them in a better position when they move to the Axis. Endpoint, who haven't been able to do a whole lot so far, and indeed the Allied side has been their weaker of the two, so this is where they really need to make the difference.
Indeed it is. First point of contact being the leader. Nice work as he takes down Kia Star. Only has that popcorn gun though, so he's going to need some assistance from his teammates. There's 3 more players in this position, but Rebirth getting work done. Finds himself 3 kills. Fancy from behind going to be given a bit of an opportunity. There's just too many players from the handle as he will be finished off. 5-3, 6Gaming. They are running away with this lead right now. 5 on the Allied side already is looking pretty good. And I'm already beginning to regret that that prediction I gave, because as we said, Endpoint with this kind of newly formed lineup, they're really going to struggle on that Allied side.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only will they probably, I mean, we've seen them already struggle a couple of times on the Allied side. It has been the Axis where they've won out that they've been strongest against solid teams. And 6G is certainly a solid team. They are going to lose a man early on, though. Kai Star to fall. This could be good. Second battle to come in. The leader taking on Garcia. Eventually finds the kill, jumping over towards the coast. Rebirth making his way in towards Red. Is going to be taken down by Sus over towards the broken wall. But Helmsy and Hustle are going to be making their way onto the A site. Slowly but surely, where Fancy has been isolated. Now, the problem with this is, yeah, sure, they can take that site, but they don't have the bomb. So it's not going to be all too helpful if they do. Right? They just need to find kills at this point even, and they'll be looking good. The bomb down, of course, at the tree towards top mid. Helmsy tries to make his way over towards getting it, sitting towards Connector, gets caught out by Fancy, who actually went aggressive, because his teammates, of course, are coming in to help him. J Money is there now, and he's going to play a pivotal role. Or maybe not, because Supreme coming in on the flank should be able to take Hustle out any second now. And there it is. 5-4. Endpoint, although they won that round out, they're still 1 behind.
Yeah, but they've done so that it wasn't a single player, so that's exactly what they need. They get to keep over all the weapons. They don't have to reinvest into all of that. Instead, they can pick up some extra nades and hope to try and start building up a solid Axis side now. We can see the buy is going to be able to come out from 6G, mostly just carbines and a couple of Thompsons to back it up. And let's see what we're going to see the approach being into this round, at least for them. Right now, just looking to maybe try and cross over towards the B side of the map with a few players. The bomb being dropped, so probably not going to be a very fast approach. Going to split up most likely and look to see what frags they can find. Smokes down on mid to try and cut off the vision, as actually it looks like they will indeed make this one pretty quick over towards that B-bomb site. And Fancy at the moment, he's going to be the sole defender all alone on the B side of the map. He's going to call for rotates as soon as he gets the info, but It's going to take a little while for them to come in. Sus beginning to make his way over alongside the leader, but as we can see, the allies have closed in the distance already. But here we go, Sus. He should find contact pretty soon. Sadly, the contact he finds is a bullet towards his own skull from that M1 carbine. Nice shot from Garcia, and the B bomb site is where the bomb is indeed going to be planted. Nice work from Fancy, though. He's getting kills. And with the nade coming in as well, the bomb plant actually will be denied. A man advantage in favor of Endpoint, as Helmsy was able to at least pull one back. That seems to be the extent of it. 5-5, another nice round coming in from Endpoint, specifically Fancy on that bomb site holding it down.
He's had a lot of solo performances actually across the last 2 best-of-3s. We saw, especially on Manor House against 6G towards the initial half of it, he's been able to pick up like 2 or 3 kills in a lot of the rounds where he's been pressured to do so. And so I think every player here has been stepping it up at different points, but Fancy's been more consistent in when he is left in situations where he's holding down a site and being pushed. He's able to pick up kills more often than you'd expect. The leader, though, consistently top fragging. He's doing pretty well for himself. We have seen Helmsy and Hustle swap positions. Helmsy was bottom fragging throughout Manor House, but in the last 2 maps, he's been doing pretty well for himself. Not in this round, though, because Supreme's already taken a shotgun to his chest and taken him out of the game. 5 versus 4. Sus lands a nice headshot, follows it up in a second. He's even going for more. He's got the Luger out, but doesn't find it. It's Fancy to get that kill. It's all on to Hustle right now. Looking on into this situation. He doesn't stand all too much of a chance. 6-5. Endpoint can take this 10-5. They'll have a good shot at taking this map. Of course, this is the final map, the last one that matters. Whoever takes this makes it through to tomorrow's semi-finals. The victor of that, of course, claims themselves a spot in the $50,000 major, Blitzkrieg Masters. That's what everyone here is fighting for, of course.
I'd say people expect both of these teams to qualify as well.
Yeah, well, to be honest, more than likely at different points. Whoever goes out here is more than likely going to qualify there. Definitely, I'd put them in the top 6 from the EU to qualify into this, but you never know. I mean, you want to secure it right now, so you don't have to worry about those other qualifiers. And the big advantage is, instead of playing in them, you can sit back and watch the other teams, watch the competition, see exactly what you're going to be up against for $50,000, because no doubt everybody's going to be doing their A game, but it'll just give you an extra 4 weekends, where you can sit back and observe the opponents.
And grind out the practice, of course, as well. It is a big event. I hope teams are going to put in a lot of effort. I would expect them to. With $50,000 on the line and the prestige of calling yourself the first battalion major champion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be worth fighting for, and I don't imagine all too many players will be taking it lightly. With the exception of the already qualified Mark Corner. I imagine
he said he'll ease off a little bit on the Bears, at least.
A little bit. But that's
I hope
the best
he
we can expect.
keeps the tank top, though, because I think that's
for sure.
trademark at this point.
I don't know if Penta have Penta tank tops, but I expect him to turn whatever jersey he gets into one if they don't. He was saying in the chat earlier, you can't have sweaty armpits while you're playing. So look at the flank coming in. Good night. It doesn't even bother spamming through, just lines up the headshot. Takes the 1 tap. He's not even going to waste the lead. Oh, hold on though. Rebirth's found a kill. He's got the bomb. He's making his way towards the bomb site, but it's easy for Supreme with the double spray down. 8-5. Endpoint are really coming back into this. 1-for-1 trades and rounds early on have just dropped off for 6G as they find themselves now able to get a full buy. Will they get out the sniper rifle? Or will Garcia be sharing his tokens with Rebirth and Helmsy? Because they kind of need them.
Dark. Oh, they asked for a pause. Didn't get it in time. Big rip. A5. This is a little bit awkward. I think it was Rebirth who was calling for the pause. So it was, of course, 6G who wanted to actually get that in. And I'd presume at this point it would have been tactical. And yeah, not going to go well for them at all early on into this round. Helmsy and Keystar already both going to be dropped, meaning a 5-on-3 as the 9th round is looking extremely likely for Endpoint at this point. Point being repeated, of course. But good work by Garcia, at least. Does catch the aggression from Sus, which I don't really think was needed so much when they already are heavily favored into this round after finding those 2 initial frags. 4 on 3 now. Still a recoverable position for 6G for sure.
Well, Method and Garcia not going to be... Sorry, Method Rebirth, of course. Not going to be all too happy right now. He had a lot of tokens in play there on Garcia. He could have dropped those over, but the ball's not coming in on time. That leaves it into a 1 versus 3. Got the Tommy gun and the M1 carbine. 14 seconds, of course. It is just going to be a save right now.
Yeah, it is indeed to save. There's a token from the pickup at least. And a Thompson to carry over into this next round alongside a carbine, but it is now the final round of the half. The buy, it is still going to be really solid for 6G. They have loads of tokens. Garcia actually has 9. Rebirth as well, after carrying over his weapons with 7 in the wallet, can go ahead and spread the love a little bit. Sharing is caring. And here we go. Getting into what is the last round of this first half. If 6G can pick up a 6th round on the Allied side, they'll be sitting really happily. 5 is decent, but when you just look at the fact that they were leading this game so massively at one point, and Endpoint now have just really begun to kind of run away with it, they were probably expecting a little bit more, but that's a solid start into this round at least. Keystar with the nade is able to claim the life of J Money early on. And Rebirth, aggressive in the house, is going to spot out Supreme. Needs to be cautious up against that shotgun at close range, but he does force them back off. The Elite are going to be able to find 1, but a quick trade from Garcia ensures that it remains in favor of 6G.
Scaver is not able to connect all too much, sadly. As it looks like 6G are going to have control of that side and a bomb plant pretty easily. Fancy the only player with a grenade, but it's not too easy to land one into that A side. Especially when you're on B, fighting off against Hustle. Luckily he finds that kill though. As the push comes in there, the teammate's going to be able to help Sus out, or maybe not. As Supreme does find the kill, he's eventually going to be eliminated, along with the rest of the team, as 9-6 is going to be the scoreline. Like you said, Gene, 6 rounds, not all too bad for 6G. Considering it was such a good start, it's a little bit underwhelming. Not what you would have expected or hoped for. But nonetheless, it's better than nothing. It gives them a good chance coming into the Axis side. And the first round to go underway momentarily.
Indeed. Three grease guns actually being carried into this round from Endpoint. A couple of carbines upgraded. A smoke and a grenade into the hands of Supreme. So let's see if we're going to see Endpoint getting off to a solid start early on this Allied side and reach double digits. We know, of course, 6G, they are very capable on the Axis side themselves. So it's definitely still a game that could go either way. I said, at least in my prediction, that I'd expect 16-12 for Endpoint. Let's see if that's going to be the case, or if 6G can prove me wrong and take the victory as Rebirth opens up this round, but Fancy getting aggressive alongside his teammates. We'll find Keystar, who was pushed into the house. Hustle only going to be able to find 1, sadly. And Helmsy, after taking a lot of damage, is going to be forced to stop taking that fight. But actually, as the aggression comes in his direction instead, he will be taken down. Good work by Endpoint, but it is now a 2v1. Oh, yeah, 2v1 indeed. It's all on Rebirth. Sus did take down Garcia eventually, so Rebirth, the stand-in, left to clutch out the 1-on-2 and deny double digits from going in favor of Endpoint. Brings it down to the 1-on-1, but sadly, with a pistol in his hands, he's not going to be able to find any more. Supreme with the final kill at the scoreline. It goes 10-6. 4 rounds in favor of Endpoint currently. A reminder, of course, this is the final map of this best-of-3 series. Whoever takes this moves on into tomorrow's semi-finals to battle off for that major spot, and whoever loses it, they're eliminated and have to focus instead onto one of the upcoming weekends to play yet another qualifier. And that's always going to be difficult as well, because playing so much, sure, you of course you want to qualify, but playing so many qualifiers, getting to getting to these points and then falling short in the end. It can be kind of heartbreaking. After such an impressive performance on the rails as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really good for 6G if they can just pick up a couple of rounds in a row. They'll really start to put Endpoint on the back foot. Because, like, the first map was so good for Endpoint. They were looking really strong. Derailed comes back into it. 6G just about come out victorious, 16-7. They start to crush it on the second half. But if they can claim a couple here, slow Endpoint down, it should be pretty good for them. Just maybe start playing into the mentality. Oh, what a kill from Kaistar. And returned by Supreme with the M1 Garand. It's a 3K from Kai, which you can't expect him to pull out all too often. Look at this play from Supreme. Hustle has got no idea, but Supreme doesn't know that Hustle's there either. They're walking by each other. 6G come out on top in the round as Hustle finds that kill eventually. 10-7. They just need to close up that gap now. As we said, Endpoint have been the weaker team on the Allied side so far. Along with that, you've got the fact that 6G came back into the previous map, really shut out Endpoint. If they can start to string together rounds and make them feel like this is map number 2 all over again, Endpoint are not going to be happy. Either way, I think both teams have shown that they deserve a spot in the major. Certainly really solid performances from them, but sadly today only one of them can qualify. Well, tomorrow. But only one of them can go through to the final round of the qualifier. With Sus falling, it's looking good for 6G, but of course the round advantages still sit with Endpoint. As the leader falls, movement is being made towards the side of B. Rebirth holding it down with his teammates. As Hustle finds one. It leaves only Fancy and Supreme.
Two on 5, and this should indeed be another round going in favor of 6G. Should find an 8 for themselves. Unless Fancy and Supreme can pull off a bit of a miracle clutch, which I'm not too optimistic about. Hustle on this bomb site ready alongside Kia Star. Rebirth also in a position to rotate over really quickly. He's just watching the run in from the garden position. One kill from Kia Star already. Supreme has to pull off an ace clutch, as it looks nigh impossible at this point. Still just hanging in towards the house. May be able to catch Kia Star off guard if he gets the timing correct, but even then with Hustle still up close, I wouldn't expect much more to be found. And he just doesn't have the time anymore. Save is all he can really go for. Token being retrieved. And Supreme, he should be okay to carry over this Thompson at least. I don't think anyone's going to try and actually hunt him down in this position. So yeah, allowed to carry over that one weapon, but difficult round for Endpoint. They probably will have to go for the one eco now. Although with Supreme carrying that over, he could maybe donate those 2 tokens and they could buy up into this one. And I think that's actually maybe what they do. At least the leader is already purchased up fully. It'd be strange if the rest of them didn't, considering he was the one that I think he had 2 tokens, everyone else had 3, and then Supreme also had 2, so he could have given one over to the leader and then maybe gave one to someone else also. But yeah, it's an okay investment overall. Fancy stays onto the grease gun. They have, of course, that Thompson that was carried over for Supreme. The rest of the players pick up some carbines, but already 1 kill to be found. Helmsy opens it up onto the leader. His Endpoint again are put onto the back foot in a 4-on-5.
Oh, J Money and Fancy left alive as Kaistar has a good performance yet again, coming up behind on the side and finding a kill. Jay tries to drop a nade in, but he's being flanked out by Rebirth, who then takes him down with the Luger after already eliminating Fancy slightly further away. Tokens being picked up and farmed at this point by 6G, who are catching up on Endpoint so quickly. 10 versus 9. His scoreline is tightening as the rounds go on, but with the Axis advantage in the hands of 6G, and looking at how they've been playing out their Axis side, with the exception of the opening round rather, Things are looking pretty good.
Hey. Pretty good.
That's what I was going for. I was
That's
lining
a
you up.
lot of damage.
Do not try this at home. But yeah, let's see if somebody can saw a boat in half and sail it right down to B, which is what Endpoint are looking for. You can already see Star. What's he doing? Like, he's spamming through smokes at just the right moment every time. It's just counting to 3 in
It's
the
fine. Sus's health's coming back because he has flex tape.
Flex seal. That's what you need
Flex
to fill
seal.
the gaps.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Tape just fixes leaks. Maybe use both, actually. Fix the leak in blood. We're making their way over towards the B site. It is going to be a 3 versus 3. That is, unless Star has something to do about it. The smoke spectacular. He does not see smoke so far. Look at the position, though, from the leader as that smoke dissipates. Himself and Helmsy are going to have a bit of a battle. Oh, but he doesn't take Helmsy out. He goes straight for Star. That is unfortunate. He doesn't spot out Helmsy lying down until it's a little bit too late. Luckily, though, he does continue taking down Star, which is a good move, because if he had spray transferred over, maybe he wouldn't have taken out Helmsy in time, and he would have done 50 HP damage to each player. That's pretty much useless, because of course they do regen. And now as they make their way over towards stopping the bomb plant, 6G are going to find a lot of trouble, but not a lot of damage. As Fancy picks up 2 kills, Helmsy and Garcia fall, and 11-9 is the scoreline. Endpoint finally getting around on the board, but is it just going to be the advantage of 6G? If they can win this, they destroy the Endpoint loss bonus and put themselves in a good position to at least get the equalizer out.
Yeah, but they are limited down to the Goers into this round. They're not able to get kind of everything they want. They do keep some tokens. Garcia still has 2 in the reserve. Star has 1. But overall, they invest the majority of what they had. 3 nades in play. Let's see if they're going to be able to open anything up with them early on. Helmsy spotting the cross is able to see a couple players crossing over towards the B side of the map. Interesting enough, the bomb, the only one that hasn't done so. Star sees the aggression that is coming towards the house as well, and it's taking a lot of damage. Needs to be really cautious. Garcia going to be able to go ahead and claim 1. I didn't even mean to do the meme of a lot of damage that time. Was getting tagged quite a lot. As it's a 4-on-3 after some exchanges are found by either side. It is favoring 6G, as we can see. Fancy, the leader, and Supreme, the 2 newcomers alongside Fancy, who we of course seen at the Gallantry LAN, left to try and clutch this one out and denied a reset from coming in already. As you said, that would be heartbreaking, would make things very difficult for Endpoint from this point going forward. Ooh, Star. How has he got 2 kills out of that position? Fancy finds 1 onto Rebirth, but that's all he's allowed. 11-10, double digits for 6G now. As there's 1 round in the difference. And Endpoint likely going to have to go for the eco here, as they're averaging just about 2 tokens. 2, 2, 0, 3, and now 0 after some investments do come in. So, yeah, they buy what they can. They keep a bit of, a couple of tokens left over. 1 into the hands of Fancy and 1 for the leader. But overall, they do invest into this round. 3 carbines, an M1 Garand, and a shotgun into the hands of Supreme. If they lose this round, suddenly the scoreline is equalized, and being on the Allied side at that point, they would, of course, favor 6G.
Yeah, the Axis side brings with it a nice little advantage. Of course, we're not seeing all too much of that being deployed right now. No Car 98Ks, no STGs, with the exception of Hustle. Everybody rocking the Gewehr. I'm hoping to stack up their money, but Fancy, he ain't gonna let that happen. Only 1 M1 Grand on the J Money, but it's Supreme to open it up with the shotgun on the A side. As he makes his way in, he's got to be careful because Helmsy is right above him. But he's only got a Gewehr. That shotgun should be able to make quick work of him. Now, with things slowing down, it is a 3 versus 2. They've got to be careful. Hustle is known to be on the B side, so they should suspect the other player to be here on A. And now they definitely do, but not anymore as he's taken out. Hustle, making his way over towards the connector, spots out J Money on the statue. Takes a little bit of damage. And that should be the end of that. This save should come in from Hustle. Excuse me, bringing that 12-10 said you wanted to change your prediction earlier on, Dean. How are you feeling about it now? Endpoint to take this? They've got a 2-round advantage.
I still think this is going to be really close, and it could still go either way, honestly. I only gave a prediction because you forced me. I can't say, oh, I think it could go either way.
Yeah, you can't go for the cop out. Well, at least one of us will be right. Maybe not in the scores, but we picked alternating teams. But I feel like right now 6G can come back into this. They've got the loss bonus building up for them. They've got a little bit of economy. If they do lose this, they'll at least be in a good position. They'll only give away a 13th round to the Allies at best. That's if they don't go for full Gewehr buys, which, I mean, you can't blame them for doing right now. They can get Gewehrs and nades. Actually spreading out in the exit side and going for smokes. Again, 2 tokens. We can see Kaistar and Hustle both have a token, but nobody's stacking it up to get a nade out, which is interesting. Not all too much coming in yet.
Oh, look who it is. It's Shiki in the chat, the former Vexed CSGO player. He's BM in Battalion.
Nice. Nice. That's what we like to see from tier 3 players.
Woo! That's rude, Mitch.
I'm joking, cheeky. I like Vex. I like
Well,
Vex.
he got dropped after
you
they
know.
won a LAN, surprisingly. I never understood that decision.
That's always a good idea. I mean, you know, if you're having success with a team, fuck it, drop someone. And if you're having success and then you lose one game or one tournament, sure, shuffle the lineup. That'll fix it.
Bomb planted.
You don't dedicate time to fixing issues. You just delete people. At least that seems to be how people do it, anyways.
4-on-2 right now. Garcia and Helmsy. Are they going to be able to try and pull this round back for 6G? The game's slowly beginning to slip out of their grasp right now. As we said, of course, the loser of this is eliminated. The winner heads on into the semi-finals that take place tomorrow. And of course, the winner of the semi-final, they do take a place in the Amsterdam Major, the top 2 from each qualifier. They move on. So there's a lot on the line currently. As we said before, the chance to play for that $50,000 prize pool, and also to have the chance to try and say that you're the first Battalion Major champion. Of course, even just to play at it, playing at the first Major in Battalion would always be something nice. Just lands in general, a different atmosphere. Mitch means all the offense, by the way. He's just he's a dickhead.
That is me. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that, you know, I'm just a horrible person.
He actually
in general.
bullies his girlfriend.
So that just sounds bad. There's nothing physical.
Do bully her.
Listen, just because we took some pictures outside a strip club.
Yeah, just to annoy her, you got a smoke, put it in your mouth, and took a picture outside a strip club. Purposely, just to annoy her.
Whoa.
And then you got an empty vodka bottle.
All right.
Yeah, and then you got an empty vodka bottle, put water in it, and downed it in a video, just to annoy her.
It was funny though. I mean, from what I remember, you were the one chanting "chug" in the background and encouraging me. So.
Yeah, but it was war.
So we both bully my girlfriend. No, not just me.
Yeah, but she's your girlfriend. You should have more respect for her.
Respect women. That's the message of this video. Oh. Down to a 3 versus 3 now. We can see Endpoint not in the best position if they do take things towards B. Although, hold on, actually. Look at Fancy. He's coming all the way up behind. It doesn't look like Hustle's going to be aware of this. Problem is, J Money's got the bomb. And if Rebirth peeks out at the right moment, he will find that kill. Here comes Fancy, opening it up. Rebirth, what's he going to decide to do now? It looks like he's contemplating going out aggressive towards spawn, but no. Now making his way in towards the house where he is being watched. His position known. The kill comes in from J Money, and it's only Kaistar. He's already had some good performances with the nade. Not going to be able to capitalize anything just yet. It's a 1 versus 3. Gewehr making his way over towards Garden. He finds a kill. J Money not going to peek up from the bomb side just yet. Kaistar. Oh, what a shot comes in from the Gewehr. It's only Fancy left alive. 1 versus 1. Kaistar has somehow managed to pull this back. But the Ringer Rosie is in play. Fancy is coming up behind it, but it's only a matter of time until he suspects this. 28 seconds, so much time left on the clock. Could be awkward, he's made noise. Fancy knows where he is. Look, Kaistar's already checking it, but he turns away. Doesn't fully check that corner. And so Fancy wins that out. What an attempt from Kaistar, though. A 3K without even the use of a nade. 14-10, though. Endpoint 2 rounds away from knocking 6G out of the major qualifier.
Yeah, 14-10. Looks like I may have been perhaps correct in my prediction of who wins, but with a little bit more of a dominant scoreline, unless we can see 6G starting to step it up now. Shiki's getting destroyed in chat by everyone right now. Mark just said, Shiki, aren't you like tier 4 UK CS player? Someone said better than Fate Esports land-wise.
Oh my god. See, this is all you need. One CS player comes in, and then all of a sudden, the whole community
What
is talking.
the hell just happened to Sus?
Oh no.
This is... What is this game?
He's pulled a stat. He's just gone and pulled a stat. This is upsetting. Endpoint. They were looking strong, Dean. They're in a 2 versus 4. Was it 2v5, but Jay managed to pick up a kill. Kaistar coming in on the flank. Able to connect one with that Gewehr. Kaistar's playing out of his mind recently. 18 for 18, but in the last couple of rounds, he's really come alive.
Such an even scoreboard for 6G right now as well. Good work into this round as Kaistar is going to be the last one to find the frag. He's 19-18. The next player is 18 kills. 15, 12, and 12. So no one really trailing behind on 6G. On the other hand, for Endpoint, you can see Fancy is having an absolutely spectacular game. It's not like anyone is massively underperforming either, but surprisingly, J Money, he's really cooled off since Manor House.
Yeah, he had a huge performance there with the Car 98, but not so far.
I don't think we've seen him bring it out much, though, in fairness.
No, we haven't. The economy's kind of been starved a lot from Endpoint. They've been going for nades a lot more often than allowing their economy to build up. And a lot of that is just due to 6G constantly coming in and winning the rounds in the last 2. They've been managing the economy so well. And lots of kills coming in for them there. Sus and J Money making their way towards the site, but they're not able to find anything as the flank comes in from Kaistar. And we also see Hustle picking up Jay on the site. 14-12. Said it was going to be a close game. It might even be an overtime at this rate. Endpoint able to get a buy up now, but this is where they need to make the stop.
So much BM in the Twitch chat right now. It's brilliant. But yeah, 2 more rounds. That's what we need to see 6G pick up if they want to equalize the scoreline, and it's also what we need to see Endpoint pick up if they want to take the victory and prove me correct on my prediction. But yeah, I don't really care about the prediction, so I just want to see a close game. And let's see if that's going to be given to us by 6G. 2 rounds in a row now is what they have been able to take. Can they continue on with that form and continue to build up momentum? That's the question. Already an opening kill to be found. Kiastar takes down J Money. We said he's been kind of struggling over these last 2 maps, and when you're getting taken down immediately like that, there's not really much that you can do. Supreme at least does return one with a nade of his own. Rebirth up close. Takes revenge. Now it's a 4v2 in favor of the 6G side, as they claim a massive advantage, leaving it all onto Sus and Fancy, the two stand-in players from the lineup that they had at Gallantry, of course, where they, as was pointed out by Howie, placed 8th, which was, of course, not quite what they expected. And because of that, they did end up making these changes. But right now, up against 6G, they are struggling. Sure, they still lead, but 6G, they're beginning to get a roll going on this Axis side. Sus gets himself 1 kill, but he only has 25 seconds now to work with and 3 more players to find. That's not going to happen. 1 round into the difference.
Oh, my hay fever's going crazy right now.
My hip
14 to
fever's actually
13.
alright. My throat's just dead. All that
That's
alcohol
pretty
in
long, dude.
Budapest. Got back, started casting immediately. I haven't stopped casting since I got back. I got back at 2 a.m., went to bed at like 6 a.m., got up the next day to cast some ESEA Mountain Dew League.
That doesn't sound like a good idea, to be honest.
But it was money. I need to live and pay bills.
Fair play.
I spent so much money in Budapest, I needed to earn it back.
You did indeed, all that Kalinka.
Our
Four-
producer just agreed that that was some good shit.
Yeah, half a bottle of Kalinka and some orange juice, walking along the streets of Budapest drinking it. Yeah.
That was not me, that was Dark in fairness.
Sitting on the bus, cradling it. Well,
40
the
and
leader of
40 looking
Fancy.
likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be at this point. Oh, hold on. Fancy's picked up one. They can regen their health as well, of course. He's challenging with a pistol. I'm not sure what that's about. He's picked up a carbine at this point, though. Going for the jump shot. Doesn't land it. It's Kaistar over towards the side, but he's already low HP. No nades in possession, so they can't finish him off, unfortunately, as he has taken a pretty passive position now, lying down behind the impenetrable wall. Oh, Hustle giving away his position over towards the site of B. Will they decide to take him on there? That's the real question. It looks like they will. Oh no, the leader gets caught out, crossing over T room. The bomb's down in the open. Fancy picks it up, but loses some HP. Hustle knows that he's coming towards him at this point. And so it is just going to be a save coming in from Fancy, 14 to 14. I can feel an overtime coming.
Looking possible. It depends whether we see one team take the remaining 2 rounds after this one, or if we see it being split 1-1. If so, we'll head into overtime, and if it continues on in fashion as we've seen at Gallantry Land, it will be many, many overtimes. One is never enough.
No, indeed. We saw, I think, what, 4 is a minimum, or 3?
I think 3 was actually the least overtimes we've seen, yeah.
3, 4, 5, I think it was. Something
It
along
was like
those
that,
lines.
yeah. We had 3 overtime games, and it was an extra overtime each time, and the base overtime, the minimum it was going to be apparently was 3. But yeah, 14 to 14. Endpoint. Can they pull themselves back into this now and deny the comeback from 6G? Or are we going to see Endpoint being eliminated from this qualifier and having to come back again next week to try and vie for their spot in the major yet again?
Oh, Kaistar, he's going. How is he landing these shots? He's being watched and everything. They know that he's coming there, and somehow just again and again he's finding these kills. Smokes don't stop him, bullets don't stop him. But it is Fancy to be top fragging, even though Kaistar's got 25 kills. Fancy sitting comfortably on 28 for 17. But kills aside, it's the rounds that are looking good for the Axis. They're in a 5v3 with 14 to 14 equalized. They've already got that advantage of being on the Axis side. Fancy gets taken now on the flank coming in from Helmsy as well. This is not looking good. They cannot rotate to A right now. They've dropped the bomb. The leader pushes out. Rebirth is behind. Jumps in to try find a second. And indeed is successful. 15 to 14. This could be Endpoint going home before we expect them to for the second time. As coming into this best of 3, I don't think either of us. I mean, we knew it was going to be a closer game, but I think we ultimately still suspect Endpoint to take this. Like we said, individually they are, based on the history of Battalion anyways, that I've seen, they're better individual players, but maybe that's not the case. 6G are doing a really good job right now of fending off this Endpoint side. 1 round left to go. This is it, Dean. The Allies not on a great buy either. 2 SMGs, 2 carbines, and a shotty. And already advanced positions being taken on mid. We can see that Helmsy is sitting there at the statue. STG in hand, or sorry, Gewehr in hand. He's going all the way up mid, getting aggressive. Now, this is the problem. They won't suspect Supreme and the leader to be here once he clears top mid. As a kill comes in for Fancy towards B, you already see the rotates coming in. Now the smoke goes down. Supreme makes his way up towards the tank. Hasn't spotted out Kaistar just yet, but Fancy finds another sus as well. It's a 5 versus 2 now. Things are looking a lot better, but the knife comes in from Kaistar before he eventually gets eliminated. Helmsy, despite grabbing a kill, is going to have to find another 4. He's all alone at the moment as well, trying to push Sus down in the statue, but his teammates are going to be able to help him out very shortly, and that is awkward.
Just playing with him.
Playing with his food. 15 for 15. Overtime has arrived.
Indeed it has. And now neither team going to have to worry too much about that economy. They're going to get everything they want, and this is where I look forward to seeing if J Money can step it up, because he's going to be able to get that car 98 out, that car 98 out whenever he wants it, basically. Already down to only 4 tokens in the wallet due to also picking up utility on the back of it, so if he was to lose this round, perhaps he could be limited in the following. Let's see who's going to be able to start it off on this overtime and claim that first round. You can see, of course, Endpoint starting off on the defensive side. 6Gaming, they'll have to try and make their way onto one of these bomb sites eventually. Helmsy actually does already claim the life of Fancy as he opens that up with a quick grenade. Nice work by Supreme, at least to get aggressive on mid and return it. If he comes around this corner, he could be in for a bit of trouble. We can see there is one player waiting up close. And Garcia already did find that frag onto J Money over on that B bomb site, meaning Sus is going to have a lot of pressure on his hands right now. Gets himself 1 kill just after the bomb was planted to at least equalize the situation, and follows it up onto Rebirth as well. They didn't seem to be cautious at all of that position. And the communication just a little bit too slow.
Bomb down on the side isn't going to be all too much of an advantage for 6G. He actually gets that with the MP40 as well. So, yeah, that advantage of having the bomb down doesn't last all too long. 1-0, MR3 of course. First team to hit 4 takes the map. And we'll go through as many OTs as we need to side swap after 3 rounds. And of course, taking the map does mean taking the series and progressing on to the final round of the qualifier, where you'll be able to compete for a chance to claim a spot alongside Mark Horner and his comrades over on Penta in the 50k Blitzkrieg Masters in Amsterdam this September. I think right now, Endpoint are going to be feeling good with that 1-0 lead. The Axis looking better for them second by second as Rebirth falls. Things are starting to look up. The bomb picked up by the Allies. But they're not quite sure where to take it just yet. You can already see Helmsy is still in spawn, pretty much. Playing passive, but while he's doing that, his teammates are dying everywhere. It's only Kaistar and Helmsy left alive. Kai trying to find a kill outside of B. As Helmsy moves over to help him out, they're going to have to commit to a site at some point. And time is not on their side. 50 seconds, they've been spotted out. Kaistar already taken a hit. We see the leader coming in on the flank as well, trying to get an angle onto Helmsy, who's just holding out for T-Room. He's being pushed pretty much from all directions. The leader, Supreme now, rotating over towards the broken wall, will find that kill. The leader's flank is useless in that situation, but nonetheless, he's feeding the team info constantly. 2-0. As once again, Endpoint taking it to the lead. It's starting to seem good. If they pick up this one last round, all they need is one allied side, and that's going to be difficult for them, I think, based on the first half. They weren't having a great time as it started off.
Yeah, but a much better start here on the Axis side of overtime. J Money actually finds the kill with an aid as well on towards Rebirth, so it's going to be able to chime in on the car 98, perhaps more to follow. Oh, the spam! He finds Garcia, and it's heartbreaking. What can you do in his position right there? He wasn't even peeking, and the bullets found them either way. Tracking technology apparently has been put into that STG in the hands of Sus, but he will actually be taken down as he continues to aggress. A little bit overzealous, perhaps. Not really needed when they have the 5-on-2, but his teammates still should be able to close this out pretty easily. As we see only Hustle now being left alive, and it looks like it is indeed going to be a flawless half coming in for Endpoint. as they take themselves a quick 3-0 lead as they did 18 to 15. 19 is the magic number they need to reach to take the victory. And the best now that we can see from 6G is to take 3 rounds themselves on their Axis side to send it into a second overtime. Will they be successful?
Look at this replay here. Sus doing some very good work. I think everybody was doing a lot of good work throughout the entirety of the game, pretty much. Endpoint. Nobody really slacking all too much. I mean, as we said, J Money did fall behind in the last 2 maps, but he did quite a lot on Manor House. We saw him holding down against B rushes with Car 98Ks all by himself. But here we go. The Allies making their way over towards the A side. It looks like mid is going to be pushed. Pretty slowly, though. They've picked themselves up a couple of weapons. The M1 Garand going to be the most popular. With, oh, that nade coming in on the Garcia. Man advantage. They're going to close in the distance. 2 SMGs in play as well. Fancy making his way towards B. He's going to try to find an opening kill there, or indeed a flank, which you might just be able to do. Hustle's not even watching it. He can actually push all the way in through to Broken Wall as the rest of his team are gearing up to take control of that A site. Fancy has already come in on the flank. Kaistar spots out one and manages to take down Supreme. Fancy making his way in through spawn now. All they have to do on the Allied side is... Oh, hold on. No, they're going to be making their way towards B. Maybe they thought it was clear because Fancy came up behind, but now they know it's not. So he makes his way in through stairs. He's already spotted out Hustle. Takes him down. Rebirth now. Left alone over towards the building. They know that he's there, but oh, Fancy challenges all by himself, Dean. That puts it into a 2 versus 3. That was not needed.
Yeah, and this has been a bit of an issue for Endpoint. We said it in the previous round as well, that it was Sus, I believe, who continued with aggression when it wasn't really needed. The Elite are going to be able to find 1 kill, but that's it. So there we have it. 6G actually do pick up the first round of half number 2. 2 more to send it into another overtime, and that is, of course, very doable. But I'm going to go on with what I was saying, and it seems like so far in Battalion, a lot of teams haven't really learned when they need to stop that aggression, when they need to just be happy enough with the advantage that they have and kind of work together better as a team. Like in CS, you know, when you have the 5-on-4, you can slow it down, for example, and then it's the other team instead that has to try and force the issue to pull the round back in their favor. But of course, in that 3-on-3 right there, I think it probably would have been best for Fancy to go ahead and just wait for his teammates to get into position so they could push them together and ensure that at least the trade could be found.
Right, we've got 2 more attempts on the board, Dean. 2 more chances. Endpoint to take this. Last round, a little bit sloppy from both teams, but yeah, like you said, Endpoint just getting a little bit too aggressive when they don't need to. Another spread going to come out. It worked out last round with the exception of the late round play, and again, it seems to be doing well for them. J Money is going to be coming in through Garden. Supreme is taking solo fights on the B side, but it works out. The leader, of course, opening up the round earlier on. As Garcia takes him down, Nade comes towards B, but it's not going to be able to get up to all too much. The bomb goes down. J, and having picked it up over in Garden. Sus has been pushing the back, though. Just about makes it away, and now will be ready for Helmsy to peek out. Doesn't manage to connect that kill, though. Down to a 3 versus 3. This is a winnable position for either team. Of course, the team that needs it are going to be 6G. STG's in hand, but they're taking things a little bit slowly. Time is ticking away at this point. J Money in a really passive position over towards the stairs in yellow. As we see both Fancy and Supreme sitting on the side. Fancy picks up one on the hustle. This could be it, Dean. Garcia and Helmsy, they're the last 2 alive. He finds one onto Fancy. The flank comes in. Things are not looking good as J Money picks up 1 kill. It's all on Garcia. He's taken out. And that is it. 6G will be going home. They'll have to compete for a spot in the major another day as Endpoint advance on to the next round in what was the closest game of the day by far.
Yeah, that was actually a great game to end it out on. We had the overtime in the end. Endpoint, they